Charles Barkley. All right, the Pistons will come at the Sixers this way. Alvin Gentry's been pretty fortunate to have a healthy five-some out there. Grant Hill, Terry Mills, Christian Laettner up front. And the backcourt duo, the ex-Sixer Stackhouse and Lindsey Hunter alongside. Alvin Gentry looking forward, as always, to facing his mentor, Larry Brown. It's always a special game for him. Those guys have grown very close from their days at Kansas and, of course, with the San Antonio Spurs. The Sixers have to juggle their lineup because of the persistent ankle injury suffered by Theo Ratliff, so Billy Owens gets to start up front with Tyrone Hill, Iverson, and Snow, the backcourt duo. One-time Spartan Eric Snow doing a heck of a job in year two as a point guard starter for Larry Brown. You may recall a year ago, move Iverson over from the one spot to the two as a shooting guard, and it paid dividends getting this ball club into the playoffs for the first time in 9 years, and they wound up dispatching Orlando as well, getting to round two before they were eliminated. With the much ballyhooed headlines of the rift again between these two guys, even you go back to last April, they disagreed on playing time, and Iverson just is a guy that wants to be out there, wants to play all 48 minutes if he can, and Larry Brown is still the boss.
And that's the big thing, Fred. You have to understand that very few players play the entire game. He does. He really gets upset when he comes out of the game, even for a couple of minutes. He's got to understand that Larry Brown knows what he's doing. He's been very successful for a long time in this league. Work with him, and things will work out for the team.
Lindsey Hunter has the task of trying to control Iverson. He's done it pretty well since Allen entered the league, just a 36% shooter against Detroit.
Fred, I think this first quarter is going to be very important to Detroit because what you have are 5 Philadelphia players that got benched collectively in Detroit. So they're going to come out with a purpose, trying to prove to their coach that they belong out on the floor, and they could be very tough for Detroit. So early on, let's watch to see how Detroit responds.
Terry Mills with the first shot that goes. Toss to Hill, who's a man underneath, boy.
I am expecting them to be very aggressive. I am expecting an effort out of these 5 players on the floor that you did not see Saturday night. And Detroit will need to be ready for that. This is a different team.
Ran against Billy Owens, lost him as Owens was looking the other way, and he two-handed it.
That's the type of explosiveness you want. Grant Hill still has one of the best first steps in the league, and more importantly, he has a great first step off the dribble when he's already handling the ball.
Lynch in traffic, 4-4. George Lynch has had a fine year for this club, averaging 20 points a game. Grant Hill was tripped by Lynch. That goes back to the ACC day.
Look at Grant Hill, how explosive he is already dribbling the basketball. A lot of guys can go from a standstill with a quick first step, but here's a guy who's handling the basketball and can explode, has that great acceleration.
Two-man game, Hunter and Laettner. They bottled Lindsey up. Terry thought about 3. Good ball movement to Grant. A 3. Got it.
And he banked that thing.
That's hard to do from there.
If I'm not mistaken, that went off the glass from the deep corner.
You'll have to ask Grant about that. 7-4 Detroit. Lynch charges into the lane and draws the foul from Laettner. Now, as a shooter, do you admit when it grazes the side like that?
Whether you admit it or not, everybody knows that it was luck. If this thing hit the glass, let's check it out. It did. Did you see the rotation of the ball?
Sure did.
And that's tough to do, banking it with no angle. None.
Man, your Achilles might be on the mend, but not your eyeballs. Good job. Foul away from the ball on the screen set by Lynch. So Lynch picks up his first foul. Philadelphia not a terribly deep team right now. Larry Brown knows it. He's got Theo Ratliff, whom he's just put on the injured list. Geiger's been coming off an injury. Pass too tall for Laettner. Lindsey tried to get it back, could not. 7-4 Pistons. Glad you're with us here on Fox Sports Net. Once cut off by Grant. Look at Terry Mills battled Tyrone Hill for position. Weak side help. Lindsey went down, no whistle. They let him play, and Tyrone Hill has 4.
Lindsey Hunter came, but he got late, and if he'd gotten there in time, I'm not so sure he would have been able to do anything with Tyrone Hill, who's being fronted in the post, and Philadelphia is lobbing over the top.
It was a physical ball game in the Palace on Saturday, so they continue here. Stackhouse on the bounce toss. Lindsey, short though, rebound Owens. Iverson's first shot. Rebound, weak side. Grant Hill and Owens got tangled up. It's Piston ball. gifted three-point shooter. Got it, though. Had plenty of time to sight that baby.
Well, the thing is, he's had that shot a couple of times now as Philadelphia is getting into the paint area, giving him that. And, of course, if Terry Mills can knock down that three, it goes a long way in helping him to have a good game, and it opens up the interior for his slashing teammates.
To Hill. Tyrone trying to Terry and muscle him. And he got the roll. Tyrone Hill has 6 of the 8 Sixer points.
They're getting a lot of distance out of getting the ball inside to a posting Ty Hill. They're going to have to bury their defense on him if that's going to be Philadelphia's main area of attack right now.
Stack against Snow. They're a good defender, as we know. Layton on the dribble drive. Long left arm. Small 8. Christian's first shot goes down. Stackhouse has yet to shoot. We played almost 4 minutes. Iverson fires. A tray. Flanked it. Rebound to Grant Hill. Looking to run with Stack and Lindsay. 3-on-2. Jerry to the hole was stripped beautifully by Snow. Out of bounds. It belongs to Detroit. Unless it's overruled, then it is Philadelphia ball.
Think about something, Fred. When Philadelphia comes down the floor and scores, they get the ball inside the Hill. They get a closer opportunity at the basket. Right now, they're struggling from the perimeter. One of our keys, keep Philadelphia on the outside. This team has problems scoring points, just 91 a game. Make that 89 a game.
Tyrone Hill again. This is going to have to start doubling. Layton bothered the shot enough on the help out. Stack got away from Snow. Not enough to get off his shot. Found the open man, Mills. Good look at a three. In and out, it was halfway down. Eric Snow emerges from the rebound. Billy Owens' first shot. Rebound off the hand of George Lynch. He's very active on the offensive glass.
If you're wondering why Terry Mills is not being guarded right now, he's standing at the three-point area. He's supposedly being guarded by Tyrone Hill, who wants the rebound. So Tyrone Hill is underneath the basket while Terry Mills is standing in three-point land.
Under against Iverson, got a Mills screen. Terry faded. Couldn't lose Tyrone Hill. Now with a dribble drive. And T, who doesn't put it on the floor a lot, did draw the whistle. Time on Hill. You know, you would expect Terry to be able to do that for Alvin Gentry when Theo Ratliff is the center, because he wants to block shots.
You're right. Or the Rick Smith, as was the case when they played Indiana. Terry had a great game because Rick wouldn't come out there. But against Tyrone Hill, you would expect that he would come out. He knows where Terry Mills is going to hurt you from.
Later fouled by Lynch. So that's the second on George Lynch. And that's a key call because Lynch, Larry Brown feels, might be the team's most valuable player for the first month and a half. Of course, he loves those North Carolina guys.
Well, Lynch is one of those guys who doesn't need the ball. He does the little things that are so critical to winning. He plays hard defense. He rebounds. He bumps. He grinds. And he doesn't need the ball to be effective on a team that has a player like Iverson who takes a lot of shots. He needs the ball. So you got to have other players around him who are willing to sacrifice a little bit.
5 minutes gone. Pistons leading by 4. Stack goes to work. Can't force anything there. Got to hurry on the shot clock with 3. Grant fires. Outscores. So give him 7 points. He's 3 for 3 from the floor. 14-8. And a Philadelphia called timeout.
This is a great start for the Pistons. They've come out, they've established tempo, they've established control of the game inside. Just need to continue.
Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Net is always brought to you by Ford. Check out the 2000 Ford cars and trucks at their website, thinkfordfirst.com. Well, during Allen Iverson's absence, the Sixers were 6-4, but with him, Greg, they're 7-9. What do you make of that?
Fred, obviously, when he was out of the lineup, they played more together as a team. The shots were balanced, the scoring was balanced, and they stepped up to the challenge. What has to happen for Philadelphia right now, they've got to figure out a way to do that with him playing his style of basketball.
Eric Snow rimmed it out. Rebound. Good box out position by T. Mills. And a fine outlet. Grant looking down the floor. Stackhouse pinned Snow and scored. What a beautiful move Jerry made before he got that pass.
It was almost like a wide receiver. He kept the defense away from the basketball while keeping concentration to catch it himself. And when he caught it, it was just he in the basket. Point I was making earlier, if Iverson's out on the floor, he's going to take a lot of shots. So they've got to figure out a way to win while that's happening.
Snow bounces to two guys standing side by side. Snow misfires. Rebound. Terry Mills again. Terry Mills doing a good job on the glass early on. It's his fourth rebound. Grant with a pass too hot for Leitner to handle. And the turnover. Third Piston miscue. So Philly gets it back down 8.
Early on, Detroit may opt to give Eric Snow the shot. Eric's struggling right now a little bit with his outside shot, averaging just 3 points a game over the last 5. They're going to make him have to prove himself.
Tyrone Hill banging Mills. Turning. Missed it. Rebound to Grant. Pistons trying to beat him in transition again like they did on Saturday night. Grant to the hole. Got it with some body English from the coach and a foul to boot. He'll look for a three-point play, looking for his 10th point of the quarter.
That was a great decision by Grant Hill to go all the way. After all, no one stopped the ball. You're always taught, stop the ball. Stop the ball at the free throw line. Well, no one provided any resistance, and Grant Hill was able to get all the way to the basket. Right here, elevates, contact, gets the roll, and the three-point opportunity.
Grant with a rare miss, but Geiger blew the uncontested rebound. It goes out of bounds, so Geiger, who was booed lustily a couple of weeks ago here when he was really struggling with his shot, didn't hear any boos there at least. The Pistons enjoying a surge here, scoring the last 8 points. 10-point game. Pretty quiet right now. Stackhouse to the bottom. Pulled down by Geiger. Spinning baseline. He's not a real post-up player. He likes to shoot from the perimeter, but he missed that one. Mills on the trail. Terry knocks it down.
Boy, Terry Mills can be such a dangerous player in this game because they refuse to guard him. Now he's Matt Geiger's responsibility. Where was Geiger? Under the basket looking for a rebound.
And this is a 20-second discussion by Larry Brown, but T. Mills has the hot hand. And boy, I bet if you looked it up, when Terry is shooting the ball even so-so, the Pistons have a pretty good chance of winning because he's just going to be giving you additional bonus points.
Now keep your eyes on Matt Geiger, left side of the screen, running back defensively. He's getting back. Now his man is Terry Mills. Look where he goes, all the way into the paint area, stops the penetration, but now he cannot get back to guard his man, nor does anyone help him, and Terry Mills makes them pay.
So Terry with a nice looking stroke there. I would still love to be able to see him get some chances for those 15 to 18 footers because you know that's almost like a layup for him.
Yeah, I know you, when he's struggling from the outside, you said a lot of times, hey, why don't he take up the slack, maybe take a step in? Well, on that play, he certainly did it. He didn't stop at the three-point line. He got to the top of the key and shot that ball very cleanly.
Look at the torrid shooting for the visitors. 9 out of 12 so far. That's why they lead by a dozen. Iverson came off the screen, ready to shoot. Rebound. It's a loose ball, holding foul on Leitner.
Keep something in mind, Fred. Philadelphia's successes have come in the paint, usually through Ty Hill. Even Allen Iverson is a player that can get into the paint area and hurt you. But his 3 shots have come from the outside. Everything else has come from the outside, and this team is struggling in that area.
Well, second foul on Leitner, so Jerome Williams checks in, and I'm sure Sixer fans who watched Saturday's game on TV saying, hey, that's no bargain. He killed us the other night. Backdoor cut inside Tyrone Hill, and a foul.
Ty Hill's got 8 points in this game, 8 of their 10, all from close range. And if you can cut him off and make his touches a little bit more difficult, then Philadelphia really is going to have a problem scoring.
Sixers only average 89 points a game. That's near the bottom of the league. But they only give up 90 a night. So they want to try to slow it down, where the Pistons want to try to impose their will on them and push it. Tyrone Hill with 9, 20 to 11. Grant Hill with a quick step. Lindsay wide open for a track.
Right now, Detroit has an answer for everything that Philadelphia tries. Philly tried a little trap that time. They got the ball down low, got a trap on Grant Hill. He kicks it out to Lindsey Hunter, unguarded. Their rotation defensively is very poor.
Pistons have 3 first-quarter triples. Near steal by Hunter. Iverson still looking for one to fall, and Geiger got inside for the tap.
Well, that's what Geiger does. I mean, he's been rebounding the ball very well. He can get some offensive taps, so you need to put a body on him.
10-point gap again. Bruce Bowen is off the bench defending Grant Hill. Give and go with Mills. Grant Grant Hill has 11.
Detroit's movement off the ball and their spacing right now, very good, making them a tough team to defend.
Geiger out high. Has range. Just fired. Rebound. Tyrone Hill got some of that. Pistons still shooting it towardly at 79%, 11 for 14. Stack one-on-one with Snow. Gave it up. T. Mills. Too much iron. Eric Snow's basketball. Can't fault the shot.
No. The execution was fine.
Coming up on 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's been all Detroit so far. Iverson is 0 for 5. Geiger pulled down the offensive chance. You can see Philly just right now not in a rhythm. Iverson finally gets one to fall.
See, the thing about Iverson, 0 for 5 means nothing to him because he's going to keep shooting. Since coming back, he's already had one game that saw him shoot 34 times.
Gary Stackhouse with a quick burst, drawing the Philadelphia foul and forcing a timeout with under 3 to go in the first quarter. But the Pistons scoring at ease against one of the better defensive clubs in the league. The Pistons continue to lead by double digits here over Philadelphia, 25-15. Pistons are offering a home for the holidays, buy one, get one free ticket offer for this Sunday's game against the Charlotte Hornets and Thursday, December 30th against Atlanta. Order now online or by phone. Representatives are indeed standing by. Well, Tyrone Hill getting a rest right now, but he has done pretty good offensive work so far, has he not? 9 points, 4 of 6 shooting. He's been really their lone offensive force. Without him, Sixers only have 6 points. Loy Vaught checks off the Detroit bench. Gave the Pistons indeed a lift in the Golden State victory last week. Here comes Larry Hughes, another guy who's had a little bit of problems with his head coach this year. Hughes also has not been happy with his minutes. Michael Curry also in a reserve role tonight for Alvin Gentry as usual. Comes into the ball game for the first time. Caught on a screen and roll, but he was held up by Matt Geiger. Geiger's first foul. So the Pistons enjoying the bonus here with 2.5 to go in the quarter.
You know, this has been a picture-perfect quarter for Detroit, both defensively as well as offensively. Offensively, because they've had the court spread, because they're moving their bodies, they're zipping the ball, they're getting high percentage shots, and they're up to 25 points, and they're well on their way to a 30-point quarter. Defensively, Fred, they're making it very tough for this Philadelphia team that struggles to score anyway. They're forcing them to shoot perimeter shots. They've not been able to answer the call. And now the question is, how long can Detroit maintain this dominance?
Well, he gets the back half of the two. 26-15. Grant Hill getting the breather for probably the end of this quarter. Then I would imagine he'll go out early second. Iverson, quick burst to the baseline, and he was bodied up by Lindsay. And then Jerome Williams after the whistle just sending a little message. I'm waiting for you.
Just in case the official was thinking about giving you an and one. Let's get this out of here.
Nothing phases Iverson, though.
No. Well, you know, he's taking 6 shots in the game. He's probably got another 20 to go, at least.
Came off a screen down low. The ball crossover dribble results in a miss. Roy Vaught right it away from Geiger, who picks up a loose ball foul. So the whistles are of concern for the Philadelphia fans, as Geiger now joins Lynch with 2.
Yeah, and that's big because Geiger is one of their better rebounders. Does the job for them off the bench, much like Jerome Williams does for Detroit, rebounding the ball. Now he's got 2, and he's got to be a little bit more selective in the manner in which he plays defense.
So figure this out. Loy Vaught, who rarely goes to the free throw line, 4 times for the season coming into this game. And now he goes 4 times in the first quarter.
And I guarantee you this, Fred, I don't think he's gone to the free throw line in any games that we've done or that I've done, seeing how I've missed 2. I don't remember seeing him at the line.
Golden State he did. Yeah, you're
okay.
Right. You're exactly right. So in the stat column of the free throws seen by Kelser, 0. And boys knocked down 3 of 4 so far. The Pistons with their biggest lead. It's 13. Hughes was cut off by Curry. Long bomb, Aaron McKee. Rebound. Look at Iverson. Oh my goodness. Puts puts it down.
That was sensational. That was tremendous. Athleticism, he had it all there, elevated, got the offensive rebound, and got a close-in basket. Now, the thing you have to hope if you're Detroit, Fred, is that this doesn't get him going. Watch the long rebound, how high he's able to get up and get it, contact at the hoop, a three-point opportunity. You hope that that doesn't ignite him into hitting 4 or 5 of his next shots.
He did that from the standstill. That's the amazing part. He didn't run up and jump and get it. Wow. Stacking the dribble drive to a spot up Lindsey Hunter. Long rebound to Philly. Hughes loves to run. Went behind the back nicely. Got it.
Yeah. It looks like Iverson's play could ignite the entire Philadelphia team. It would have been very critical if Detroit could have come down and got a quick answer after Iverson's heroic basket.
Pass against McKee. Two guys that were involved in the trade for each other, along with Ratliff. Stack fought it off to Curry. Tries to keep it alive on the dribble. Ball kicked out of bounds by Detroit.
You know, it's almost as if this team was waiting for a pick-me-up, and they got it with Iverson's great play. It led to this by Hughes, and now some very good defense 2 times down in a row for Philadelphia, and the crowd is starting to get involved.
So the Pistons' 4th miscue. McCullough in the ballgame, the rookie out of Washington. Forced to pass inside of Owens. Great hustle by Jerome, although he was on the baseline as he tried to wiggle it free. So it remains in the hands of the Sixers with 12 to shoot. Iverson off the screen. No. Rebound. Billy Owens won the battle. Goes back up and down.
How many times do you see it? I mean, this is a different team the last minute and a half of this game. Their energy level has increased significantly, and now they're making things very difficult for the Pistons.
Sixers have scored the last 7 points. Stack against McKee on the other side. Boy, Vaught tried to pry the rebound away from McCullough, but picks up a loose ball foul. So the rookie 7-footer, well, they called on him. I thought they caught Lloyd Vaught. So did the crowd. So the Pistons will take it. Vaught goes back to the line.
Well, you know what? Lloyd Vaught working hard, rebounding with 2 hands, and as a result, he's picked up a foul on McCullough, and he's also picked up a foul on Geiger. Now, interestingly enough, last night talking to Lloyd Vaught, he says, you know, if you look at rebounds per 48 minutes, I mean, if you project it out, I'm like one of the leading rebounders in the league. He told me that.
Problem is, of course, the minutes have not been there for him this season. Trying to earn his way back into the rotation. John Crowley comes off the bench. He has sat quite a bit in recent games. So he, too, looking for a spark here to earn himself some more playing time. So Vaught splits him. 4 points all at the line. Key spinning against Crowley. So his first 2 makes it 29-24.
76ers are into this game now.
They've cut it to 5. It was 13. Curry against Hughes. Boy, given some space by McCullough. Stack in the lane, tough shot. Rebound. It's Philadelphia's. No, Crowley stole it and laid it in. The opportunistic left-hander gets the bucket.
Well done by Crowley, because you know what? When a shot goes up, usually a guard, his thinking is, let me get back defensively. But Crowley saw an opening, got in there, got the loose ball, and got the Pistons 2 very vital points.
Crowley picks up the foul. Now he has his hands full trying to check Iverson.
And I call Crowley's points vital because anytime you've got a team that's surging, going on a run, and the crowd involved, anytime you can get a basket, just to quiet the crowd for that moment, really helps.
Iverson misses the first of 2. Bruce Bowen back on the floor for Philly. Iverson has never really been much of a free throw shooter. 69% this season. He's been sort of the Achilles heel of his game. He's not been a bad free thrower, but don't mention the word Achilles around you. Pistons have to hurry to beat the clock. Stackhouse misfires as he received a bump, but they let him play to close out the first 12 minutes. But the Pistons got off to the hot start. Allen Iverson, they kind of shut him down a little bit until he got going. But the Pistons lead here after 1 on Fox Sports Net, 31-25. Well, the Pistons shot 63% from the floor in the first quarter and lead the Sixers by 6 on the road. They get the latest from the gridiron on Fox Sports Net football news. It's all the news, highlights, and analysis you need for the pro, college, and high school ranks. Weeknights at 6 only on Fox Sports Net. Don't forget, following this one, we'll have Red Wings and San Jose Sharks, starting with the pregame from the Shark Tank at 10 o'clock. Jerry Stackhouse in the first quarter went 1 for 5 from the floor for 2 points. Santa making an early entry here, huh? Even Iverson got a chuckle out of that. Okay, so Larry Brown did.
What else is new?
They are different, aren't they? You say tomato, I say tomato. So Philadelphia to inbound the basketball. It's Owens, Iverson, McKee, Hughes, and McCullough out there for Brown. Crotty and Stackhouse in the Alvin Gentry backcourt. Front with Vaught, Curry, and Williams.
Hey, stop, bro. Stay behind.
Billy Owens with 10 seconds with which to work. McKee, an open look for 2. And the one-time Philadelphia high school product has 4. 31-27.
He's provided a nice lift since coming into the game. It was his interest into the game that kind of started Philadelphia's surge.
Stop on the reverse. Oohs and ahs. 33-27.
Stackhouse loves going to the opposite side for that reverse dunk.
That was his signature move at Carolina.
Yeah.
McKee again. Oh, got crossed up. Became a little too unselfish there. He had a shot initially. Almost traveled.
Aaron McKee guarding Stackhouse got screened off by his own man, Todd McCullough. And that provided an avenue for Stackhouse to get all the way to the rack.
So it's a 6-point game. McKee off the screen from McCullough. Hit the 3 ball. Aaron McKee was 7. He averages 10 points a game off the bench for this club.
Boy, the hoop is looking large to him right now because he's not really hesitating on that shot.
Crotty inside, threw it away. Iverson. Loy Vaught tied him up, jump ball. In midair, and Loy got 2 hands on it to boot without a foul.
Well, Iverson thought that he might be able to split the defense right here, but watch how Loy Vaught very accurately gets 2 hands on that basketball, and that's hard to do without fouling.
Vaught won the jump, but McKee won the battle to the basketball. Philadelphia almost all the way back. Hughes with the left hand, lost the handle. Vaught comes up with it. Boy with some hustle points. Here comes Jerome Williams. Bounce feed from Stackhouse at his knees. Too tough to handle. Out of bounds.
Yeah. Again, you talk about spacing. There was none there. There really wasn't a passing lane. Jerry tried to needle it through the hole anyway, and the Pistons end up turning it over.
So Iverson gets a rest. Doesn't complain about this trip to the bench because he had played the first 14 minutes of the ball game. Eric Snow replaces him. Hughes is very quick. The pull-up doesn't go, though. Rebound is Stack. Pistons will try to push it. 3-on-3. Terry Mills for 2. Terry has 9.
You know, you really bring up a good point. You know, sometimes stepping inside, it just helps your accuracy. Much shorter shot. Terry Mills looked very good on the 2 attempts he's taken inside the paint area. Inside of the 3-point line in this game.
McCullough was fouled. So the rookie from Washington will shoot a pair. He's been a pleasant surprise for them as a 2nd-round draft pick. He'll shoot a couple of free throws when we come back. It's Detroit by 5 on the road. 35-30, Pistons lead here in Philadelphia. It's not exactly cut out of the sound of music, but the hills are alive here in Philly.
Grant Hill off to a terrific shot start, getting the ball inside. So much of Philadelphia's success went through Tyrone Hill. Here's Grant Hill again getting all the way to the basket. And on his way to a very sound first quarter. Ty Hill continues to do damage in that post area. We talked about Grant Hill getting it in and out. That was the outside jumper. He also banked one from the dead corner for 3 points.
Well, G Hill outscoring T Hill so far by a deuce.
Both shooting the ball at a very high clip. Grant Hill yet to miss a shot. Tyrone 4 of 6 from the floor.
Todd McCullough at the line. Kind of like his game. He's a 7-footer. He's got skills. Needs to bulk up a little bit, but for a 2nd-round pick, he's a nice addition for this club. And of course, he woefully misses the free throw. He wasn't drafted because of that. And a foul against John Crotty gives it back to the Sixers. Bennett Salvatore caught him. So Sixers get it back down for. Hey, Alvin Gentry, no tie tonight.
He's going with the mock look, and it looks good on him.
Tyrone Hill fell over in a heap. Foul Terry Mills. Well, the Pistons are offering a home for the holidays buy one get one free ticket offer for this Sunday's game with Charlotte and Thursday's affair against Atlanta. Order now online or by phone. Representatives are awaiting your phone calls. Tyrone Hill banging Terry Mills, who maintained his ground. Shot clock in single digits. Hand in the face of McKee, maybe bothered it just enough. Grant Hill got there in time. Blake does not look to shoot the ball much so far. Owens picks up Hill. Grant from the elbow. Changed it to a no pass. Michael Curry stripped beautifully by McKee. Here comes Philly running. 3-on-3. McKee, the left-handed push pass inside of Hughes.
As I said, McKee has been a huge spark for his team off the bench, making a lot of good decisions out on the floor. Gave that ball up to Hughes and allowed Hughes to get an easy layup.
Curry against Larry Hughes. Put it up, and it almost went down. Thought Michael was going to go with the left hand, but he drew the foul.
Did you notice how McKee totally occupied the defensive attention of Grant Hill to the very last moment and then gave the nice pass up, did not pick up a charge, gave it to Hughes in stride so that he could get the easy layup attempt.
Hey, Aaron McKee's a sound basketball player. He played well with the Pistons. And keep in mind, in college, he was a scorer. So he says people are surprised, I'm averaging 10 points a game. When I played at Temple, I could score.
Good point. People do tend to forget.
Well, you get cast in a role at the NBA level and get stereotyped as maybe a defender or a rebounder when, in fact, he wouldn't be at this level if he couldn't put it in the hole. Curry with a couple of free throws, 37-33. Front of Owens. Snow nowhere to go. Blocked by Crotty. 7 to shoot. Hughes will fire. Larry Hughes has 6.
This game is at a stage right now where it's sort of in limbo. You got each team coming down, having a couple of successes, but you've had a major run by both teams. Now it's just a question of who will get the next one. It will come.
Grant Hill posting Eric Snow. They couldn't get it to him. Curry out high. Strokes it. Michael Curry with 4. Pistons by 4 again. We played 4 minutes of quarter number 2.
The team that gets the run first will be the team that comes up with a sustained defensive effort. All runs usually come after good defense.
Tyrone Hill scored that one before he got it. He was way deep, and Hill has 11. The Pistons are going to have to find a way to kind of negate him a little bit.
Yeah, you really do. You got to battle him for that low box because he is causing problems. And he's had 7 shots now. He's knocked down 5 in the post.
Pistons break the trap. They worked on that this morning at the shoot-around. Curry dives in the lane. There's a lefty. Oh, no whistle. There was some contact. Alvin Gentry looks as if to say there wasn't a foul there. Coming back in the ball game for the Sixers, Iverson and Geiger. Owens and Snow go back to the bench. 12 seconds to shoot. Crotty buying some time for Lindsey Hunter. Now they got to hurry. Leitner with the 16-foot pop. Rolls off. Tyrone Hill with a board. Using the screen and roll. Bad pass. Leitner with some hustle. Got it out. Now the Pistons trying to run. Grant soars and scores.
Philadelphia does a poor job of stopping him at the free throw line. They cannot get him to pick that dribble up at the free throw line, and twice now Grant Hill has been able to get all the way to the hoop and score in transition.
Grant is 6 for 6 shooting the ball. Iverson with it. 2 for 9 shooting so far. He hoists another one. Nowhere near, but there's a whistle on the shot. And Allen Gentry frustrated because very little contact there when a moment ago Michael Curry did not get to the line. The Pistons still lead. All right, everybody's got a list, but only one person has the list. Catch Keith Olbermann's 50 Greatest Athletes of the Century, Christmas Day at 7 p.m. only here on Fox Sports Net. I'm sure there'll be some humor mixed in, as only Keith Olbermann can do it. 6.5 to play in quarter number 2 here in Philadelphia. The Sixers have had no answers so far for Grant Hill. And as a result, the Pistons as a team doing mighty fine, thank you, shooting the basketball 13 of 20 so far in 2-point territory, and much better than their per game norm outside the arc now, 3 for 6. So Iverson for a pair.
Fred, even though he's going to the line for 2 shots, the Pistons have made things very tough for him. His shots have not been easy. He's forced a couple, and as long as you can keep him from going on one of those binges that he's capable of, you have a good chance of beating Philadelphia.
He's only a 36% lifetime shooter against the Pistons, so he hasn't single-handedly beaten them very much. They've made him earn his points. 41-38. Half-court trap applied. Broken easily. Curry steps into the shot that goes.
Again, spacing. And this group out on the floor started the game with that.
And that's all they need out of Michael Curry. He can get, a few jump shots to fall and really takes away some of the pressure. Inside the alley-oop toss. Hughes from Iverson.
They set that up brilliantly. Had Hughes come off the baseline, had Iverson feint like he was going to try and get penetration. The defense totally mesmerized by Iverson. No one there to contest Hughes at the summit.
Iverson picks up a foul at the other end. But look at this beauty.
Notice 3 players went to Iverson thinking he was going to drive the ball to the basket. Meanwhile, you've got Hughes slashing off the baseline. Once that ball is up there in the air, no way will the defense adjust in time to stop the shot.
Halfway through the second, Mills off a Curry screen. Grant had to give it up. 10 to shoot. Lindsay, nice look inside to Leitner. Drops it off to Mills, and Terry with a foul. Assessed by, or to McKee rather.
You really can't ask, Fred, for any better ball movement and people movement than you just had.
Second foul on McKee. Yeah, Hunter threw a good pass inside, and Leitner equally adept at finding Mills. So Philadelphia with their 3rd team foul. Bruce Bowen back out there. McKee back to the bench. Leitner one-on-one with Geiger. Here comes Curry on a cut. Nobody picked him up.
Unbelievable.
Whatever that, want to go back to that one. 45-40. Bowen on a leaner, doesn't go. Grant couldn't control the rebound because of Bowen's pressure. So Sixers retain it.
Watch Michael Curry. He's just going to make a hard dive to the basket, and no one picked him up. You had 5 Philadelphia defenders all looking at each other like, who's got him?
So Michael Curry sits down with 8 points off the bench. How about that? Almost turned it over, Philadelphia did. Hughes will fire. He's not bashful. Airmail into the lap of Grant Hill. Leaking down the floor, Stackhouse in a foot race, collects it, and draws the foul against Geiger, number 3.
You really put a lot of pressure on your opponent when you run the ball up the floor. But in order to get the ball up the floor, you got to have people that are willing to run, to put out energy, even though you might not get the ball. Stackhouse gave it up that time, ran hard, and did get the ball. And guess what? Geiger's got 3, and he's an important player for Philadelphia.
It's interesting because Sixers were known as an athletic team a year ago, and they still are, but yet it's the Pistons, as we saw Saturday night, and again tonight, the more athletic team pushing the ball.
I think it's Fred, it comes down to who pushes it the most. Because keep in mind, you may push and run hard 10 times and only get it 2. But is it worth it? I think it is. I mean, if you're a running team, you've got to feel like it's worth it.
Alvin Gentry still politicking. As Stackhouse has to settle for a split of the pair. 46-40 Detroit. And they've done it with a quiet Stackhouse first half so far with 5 points. McCullough in deep. The bump. The miss. Here comes Grant. And a foul finally called. McCullough got away with the reach in. Bowen did not.
Okay, Fred, we talked about which team might be able to go on the next run. Detroit is poised. They're threatening. Why? They've come away with 2 pretty good stops consecutively, both leading to run-out opportunities. And Grant Hill, if he can knock the 2 free throws down, Detroit has an 8-point lead.
The Pistons could get this one tonight on the road. It could really be a springboard game because they play a lot of games at home coming up. And over the next 17, including this one, only 1 road game against a team with a winning record, and that is New York. And that's in about a month. So the Pistons really have a chance to make some hay. We talked about that last Thursday in Golden State.
I heard you talk about it.
You know what? Maybe a chance to go, who knows, 11-6, 12-5, and then you really get above that 500 mark with some breathing room.
Because right now they've been hovering around it. Maybe 1 game above it, 1 game below it, or right at it for about 2 weeks now.
Iverson, the bottom.
That was a big basket for him and for the 76ers to stave off any run or any attempts of Detroit to put some serious distance between the 2 clubs.
48-42, entry pass to Stackhouse, knocked away Snow. Iverson off a McCullough screen. Tyrone Hill blew the layup. We'll try again. Got it. Tyrone Hill, the banger. He's got 13.
He's their first half MVP easily thus far.
Stackhouse wiped out Snow with the left hand, got away with it. Jerry in the dribble drop. Give it up to a deep Mills. Grant with time, rises, and scores. Oh, is he on his game?
It's as if he caught it, thought about it, said, well, you know, 3-point, that's not really my range, even though I've knocked down 1 in this game. Let me step inside a little bit. Shorten the distance, got nothing but net.
Distance by 6 again. Grant picks the pocket of Hughes. 3-on-1 Detroit against Eric Snow. Grant soars and scores again. He's been unbelievable in the first half with 19 points. 8 for 8 shooting the ball.
Once again, because of stellar defense, Detroit poised for a run. They get a stop here to get a chance to go up double digits.
Hughes curls off the screen and scores. Larry Hughes is a flat-out scorer. He's got 10. 6-point game. Stack has the floor spread against Snow. T. Mills checks his feet and drains it. It's a tray.
And where was Ty Hill? The man who was guarding Terry Mills under the basket.
Curry and Mills have provided 20 points off Alvin Gentry's bench here in the first half.
And what Ty Hill has to be saying to his teammates, hey, come on, guys, I'm helping out. Somebody help me.
Over the back, loose ball foul, Philadelphia. It goes against Tyrone Hill. So the Pistons, again opportunistic, regain a serve. Late first half on the road, the Pistons still lead up here by 9. And Grant Hill doing a number on the white shirts.
Watch how Eric Snow, who's a good defender, respects the driving ability of Grant Hill. Plays off, gives Grant Hill that shot. And now Grant Hill in transition. You're asking Eric Snow, who's the lone defender, back to guard 3 guys. He can't do it. Grant Hill gets all the way to the rack. Fred, has he missed a shot yet?
No, he is not. And I still wonder if there's a better open court player, maybe some as good as Grant Hill, and certainly nobody his size can handle, score, pass the ball. And this is exactly why Alvin Gentry pounded into their heads in training camp. We've got to be a transition team when we can to succeed.
You know, you asked me that question in the break, and after thinking about it, I don't think there's a better open court player. When you take everything into consideration, the guy who makes solid decisions in the open court, passes it, and then more importantly, the guy who can finish in the open court, can get to the basket and finish the play. No one does it better than Grant Hill.
And boy, if they ever kept a stat on finishing plays, he'd be up around 90% at bet. So Leitner has 4, softly hitting 2. 57-46, Pistons back into a double-digit lead, and this has got to be a morale booster and a confidence killer for Philadelphia.
They did it with their defense.
And they're doing it up front. Eric Snow, no, rebound to Leitner.
Until Eric Snow is able to put that shot down, they'll give him that.
Stack inside from Grant Hill, who saw him, and Stack now with 7. Crowd has grown woefully quiet. Their team's down 13.
That was beautiful eye contact between Stackhouse and Grant Hill that time.
T. Hill draws a double team. It left Snow open. That's the shot that Eric Snow knocked down repeatedly last year in his breakout season. 59-48.
Well, the good thing for Snow that time, he was not reluctant about taking it, even after missing a couple.
Inside, Leitner puts it up. No. That stops 7 successive field goal makes for Detroit. Iverson. He's got 11 with a soft touch off to the high glass.
I think if you're Detroit, you have to feel in your mind, hey, the last 2 minutes of this half, let's not let Philadelphia go on a run. We've regained control of this game. Make sure we go into halftime with at least the 8 or 9 point lead. Anything better than that's gravy.
T. Mills for 2. Rattled out on it. Rebound to Hughes. Philadelphia had a 7-point surge in the first quarter. They scored 4 straight here. Hughes gave it up to Eric Snow. Unselfish inside to Owen.
Yeah. You know, again, Philadelphia, the perfect response to Detroit's success. Detroit had the 11-point lead. You've got 3 consecutive baskets by Philadelphia. It's just a 7-point lead now.
Lindsey Hunter looks at the official again for a second time, saying, hey, he's not supposed to be able to touch me outside the foul line extended. Grant inside. Got 2 more. 21 for Grant. 9 for 9 from the floor. That'll help the field goal percentage.
Big time.
Under a minute to play in the half. Iverson catching, shooting, scoring. 13 for Iverson. The Dream Teamers are doing a job here in the first half now. They trap Stackhouse. Bounce toss, Hunter to the Leitner. Christian to the hole, and he drew the foul. Nice attack by Christian. He'll shoot a pair.
Fred, he had the open 15-footer on the baseline, but decided to take it inside. Now, when you do that, you've got to cash in because you've got the rotation, you've got the ball in the corner, you've got the shot you want. Turn it down, go inside, you better come away with dividends, and Leitner gets himself to the free throw line.
Leitner now has 5. Hey, the Pistons are offering a home for the holidays buy one, get one free ticket offer for this Sunday's game against Charlotte and the Thursday battle against Atlanta. Order now online or by phone. Representatives at the Palace are standing by. 2 important Eastern Conference games coming up at the Palace. Charlotte's been red hot. McCullough returns. Takes over for Tyrone Hill. You know, Larry Brown received so many plaudits for keeping his team afloat with Iverson on the mend when he missed 10 games. And now they're wondering why this team has not been able to spurt since Iverson's return.
That's their dilemma. That's their challenge, to find a way to do it. Because this guy is being paid a lot of money. He's a marquee player, he's the superstar of the team. Got to find a way to have him play his style, and you win with it.
They've readjusted the clock and trying to find out exactly how many seconds remain. So 35.6, they have it corrected. Leitner gets them both. Hasn't touched rim yet. Jerry Stackhouse foul against Snow. And that'll put Philadelphia at the line, will it not? Or no, an inbounds, excuse me. They had a foul to give. They reset the shot clock to 24 seconds. Should be 14. Might have their arm right on top of it. Alvin Gentry was yelling too. So now Mike Curry will be a late replacement here. And Block comes back to the bench. Hughes with it. Had some space, decided not to. Eric Snow on the drive. Did he walk?
They're going to call 3 seconds as Billy Owens camped out inside expecting a shot to go up. Shot never came. Detroit to get a chance to increase their lead.
So 22.1 to go. The Pistons can hopefully work it down for the final shot of this quarter. But they lead by 9 here and a chance to bump it back into double digits. All right, tonight's Mercedes Moment is a tribute to a basketball legend. Wilt Chamberlain dominated the game like no other. His NBA records abound, including averaging over 50 points per game for one season. The 7 years he spent here in Philadelphia will forever endear him to this town. Wilt the Still, tonight's Mercedes Moment. And as you might suspect, with his passing, front page stories for several days here. A legend, not only at the professional level, but high school as well here in Philly. Like they wear the bands on their uniforms in memory of Wilk Distill.
Saw him play a lot on television. Would have loved to have been able to see him play in person.
Became a one-night legend in Hershey, Pennsylvania, too, with his 100 points. Pistons will methodically burn some clock. That's Bowen defending Hill. Curry with three, has to hurry. Spinning into a shot. Ooh, no foul. He was banged on the arm. Michael Curry doesn't say much, but he wore a frown as he thought he was fouled. But Grant Hill could wear a big grin. What a first half for Grant. 21 points, 9 for 9 from the floor. And as a result, the Pistons with two precision-like quarters here on the road. And they lead the 76ers 63-54 at intermission. Now for a look at what's ahead on Fox Sports News primetime after the game. Let's send it back to the Fox Network Center.
Especially coming out of halftime are critical. Well, Saturday night, Detroit led by 16 at half. That got up to 23. Philadelphia benched its starters. Game was practically over. Let's see how the first five minutes of this quarter goes. Did Detroit extend on that 9-point lead, or will Philadelphia get back into the game quickly?
Lynch at the bottom of the iron, on a blocking his own shot. Stack in the post, draws a double. Back to Stack against Snow. Patient ball movement. Grant Hill missed the three try. First miss tonight. McKee puts his head down and scores. And then Grant Hill comes up slowly. May have twisted an ankle. Now they're going to wipe some sweat off the floor. Grant seems to be okay, but he was wincing and he was down there.
McKee able to get all the way to the basket. Keep in mind, Philadelphia started playing very well when he came in off the bench.
That's looking at highlights through the mirror, of course.
Did you see that? Back was 33.
Jeez. Had too much orange juice at breakfast. Yeah. 63-56. T. Mills, 20-footer. Rebound to McKee. Aaron again scores and a foul. McKee's going to look for 5 straight points.
You heard me talk about Philadelphia's inability in the first half to stop the dribble of Grant Hill. Well, twice now the Pistons have been unable to stop the penetration and dribbling of McKee. He gets all the way to the basket. He's got a chance to hit the first 5 points of this half for Philadelphia.
And normally Aaron McKee is not a guy who's going to beat you off the dribble, but he was determined back to back.
Yeah. Well, you got to make a guy pick his dribble up. You can't allow him to keep his dribble alive and get all the way in deep like that.
So it's a 4-point game. And against McKee. 6'8" against 6'5". Ducks inside, recollected and scored. That was tough off the bobble, much tougher than it looked. He's got 23.
Plus he did it with the offhand. Very difficult.
It's back to 6. Iverson off a Lynch screen. Rattled out to Hill. Grant with his 5th rebound. Stack in pretty good position, but Snow alertly knocked it away. He's done a pretty good job on Stack tonight. Snow gives up 2 inches in that battle. Now Jerry has to create. Mills tees it up for 3. Rebound, a long one, chased down by McKee. Mills got away with some loose ball contact. No, he did not. Bowled over Snow, and T. Mills picks up the foul.
Terry Mills hustling to get back. I thought he put a good hand on the ball without the contact, or the contact at least came after he got his hand on the ball. But again, beautiful execution by Detroit. Jerry Stackhouse draws 2 defenders. He kicks it out to a wide open Terry Mills. Mills has the shot, just unable to put it down.
Tyrone Hill off his own foot. On the floor, Stack. 2-on-1, an alley-oop coming. No. Ducks the pass inside to Grant, who ran out of room. Grant made eye contact looking for the oop, but it didn't come. And then a foul on Aaron McKee. That's his third foul. First team foul on the Sixers in the quarter. Stack 1-on-1. Here comes Lynch on a double down. Pistons have to hurry. 5 to shoot. Layton looks at the shot clock. Fires. Rebound. Fought for. Comes back to Stack. In traffic. Lays it up too hard. Well, the Sixers dodge a bullet there. Iverson kept at bay by Lindsay, and a steal. Trying to save and does to Leitner. Great play by Hunter. They spread the floor for Grant against McKee. Now in the box at Stack. Cutting Leitner. Pass too tall for him. Pistons still retain it. Leitner called for it inside. Lindsay dives inside. Missed it. Rebound Leitner on a tap. Loose ball foul on the Pistons. They had some opportunities on that possession. Couldn't cash it in.
It was almost as if they were all just a little bit off balance. I mean, they had Leitner cutting, couldn't get it there. Lindsey Hunter got down to the basket, but was a little off balance on the shot.
Foul was whistled on Lindsey Hunter, his third.
But I still like the movement, Fred, without the ball. Everybody out there.
Checking the foul given to Leitner. Number 3 on Christian. McKee. Oh, he's been a force in the third quarter. He has all 7 Philly points in this half. 65-61. Grant dribbled into double trouble. McKee, foot race with Mills. He'll win it. Missed it. Iverson fouls, and he is fouled.
Iverson will get that putback, and brilliantly done, I might add. But Aaron McKee, he forced a turnover. He's got this Philly team playing well. He's been a very, very solid contributor for them in both halves of this game. And now this crowd is poised to get right back into this.
So Iverson with a freebie here can cut it to 1. Pistons twice have led by 13. But he misses. Iverson has missed 3 from the line tonight. 3 for 6 from the line. 65-63 Detroit. Cleared floor for Stack against Snow. Terry Mills almost won. Grant Hill, fall away. Tough little shot.
Really shot it off his heel that time. And a big basket. Now Detroit able to stave off, at least for the moment, this Philadelphia run. Philadelphia has dominated the first 4 minutes of this half.
Pistons by 4 as they go back on D. Tyrone Hill, no foul. Mills maintained his ground. Here comes Grant. Was cut off. Leitner knuckleballs it home. Christian with 8. Off the Grant assist, 69-63.
Pistons able to run off their defense. I don't know if that was a foul on the other side by Terry Mills. May have been, but it wasn't called. The Pistons quickly down the floor with good floor balance.
Both teams have been beefing about no calls here tonight, but Grant able to find the open man and some Blue Devil synergy. Will return to Philly in a moment. Pistons still leading at Philadelphia. It's by 6. Tonight's edition of The Locker Room was preempted, by the way, because of our Pistons coverage. But you can catch Eli Gibby and Gary tomorrow at a special time. The Locker Room presented by General Motors tomorrow at 5:30 on Fox Sports Net. You know what I noticed this year with Grant? It doesn't seem like his jump shots are nearly falling as short as they were in prior years. Obviously, his percentage is up, too.
He's worked on that thing. His technique seems to be a little bit better. And I think probably the biggest thing, his confidence is surging. He doesn't get disgruntled or dismayed when he misses one either.
Iverson came off a screen of Hill, missed it. Rebound, Tyrone Hill, a back of Mills, but no whistle there either. But it's Detroit ball. We've almost played 5 minutes of the third quarter. So trying to bump that lead back into double figures. Backdoor cut, Grant Hill missed it. Rare miss for Grant inside. Snow with the left hand. Doesn't fall. T. Mills with a rebound, rips it out of there. Snow, a loose ball foul to try to get it back. And the Wolverine gives the Spartan a stare.
And at this particular time, I mean, I was a little surprised that Eric Snow tried to make that move inside early on the shot clock. Almost got it to go. But Terry Mills has done a pretty good job in this game.
He has been tough on the boards. He's got 8. Working on a double-double. Pass deflected by Stack. Claimed, though, by Lake. T. Mills arches, scores! Terry Mills with a long ranger.
He's making himself available, and right now Philadelphia is still at a loss as to how to deal with him. You know, he's Ty Hill's man, but Ty Hill has a mindset to help out defensively, but no one is rotating over to help him.
Tyrone Hill fouled before the shot. No bucket. Mills picks it up. And that's 4 on Terry. That's a shame because he has played so well tonight. Well, when you get 14 points from Terry Mills, this team becomes markedly better. Because you know you're going to get your points from Grant Hill and Jerry Stackhouse on a night-in, night-out basis, and Leitner too. So, again, those bonus points we talked about. So he's going to have to come off the floor here. Jerome Williams will check in. Bennett Salvatore, the official, just warned the Pistons bench about too much lip, and that's what the crowd was cheering. They've been on Alvin all night long behind us. Hill hits the first of 2, so the Junkyard Dog takes over for Mills. Those 2 guys have killed Philadelphia, though, in back-to-back games. Yeah. Jerome on Saturday night, now T. Mills tonight.
Right. That's a big loss, though, because of what T. Mills was able to provide. A safety valve, an outlet, and a guy able to knock down the perimeter shot after teammates gain penetration into the paint area.
So Hill with a couple of free throws. His first points of the second half. Stack. And a foul on Jerry. As Eric Snow drew that one with a pretty good acting job. And Stack picks up his second foul. Geiger back off the bench for Philly. He's been quiet so far. Iverson, Lindsey Hunter right in his shirt. Iverson takes it as a challenge. Hunter stays with him, forced him into a pass, then helped out on deep, and it didn't matter. Aaron McKee with a triple.
He's on fire. I mean, right now, he is unconscious. He caught the ball and shot it almost in the same motion. Fred, when you do it that quickly, you know you feel good about your shot.
Sixers have 3 field goals in this half. They all belong to McKee. Grant goes away from the double and then draws the foul. It's McKee who picks it up.
I want you to watch him come off the little mini screen there after the ball is given up by Iverson and see how quickly he was able to shoot it and catch it and hit nothing but net on it. He's doing the same damage in this third quarter that Ty Hill did for Philadelphia in the first quarter.
See if the Pistons attack McKee. Aaron just picked up his 4th foul. Now he's fronting Grant Hill.
Go, Ty!
McKee's got to be careful. Grant misfires. McKee, good D, did not foul. Iverson had to give it up. Eric Snow changed into a shot. Missed it. Tyrone Hill won the battle momentarily because it goes off his hand, and it's Detroit possession. So McKee sits down with 17 points, but 10 have come in this quarter, and he gets a big hand.
That's as big a loss Philadelphia as Terry Mills is right now for Detroit.
A whistle and a holding foul on Eric Snow. That's number 3 on him. So Larry Brown's got to be concerned with the way the whistles are starting to pile up against his team. He preaches defense. One of the league's best, allowing under 90 a night. Pistons by 3. Leitner set that screen. Hunter? No, sir. Rebound to Hill. Geiger fades, missed it. Rebound, Jerome Williams to the back of Tyrone Hill. So Jerome picks up foul number 2. So Hill goes back to the line. Past years, he struggled at this part of his game, but he's 74% for this season coming in.
Word of caution, Fred. Remember the halftime stat that showed Philadelphia with 7 offensive rebounds. Now with Geiger back out on the floor and Ty Hill still on the floor, Philadelphia have 2 players that can really hurt you with putbacks. So if Detroit plays good defense, they got to seal the deal by getting a clean defensive rebound. They can't run out too soon.
Hill much more quiet in this half. If it comes down to a battle of free throws, the Pistons with a huge advantage in terms of accuracy. And it could come down to that. It always seems to come down to a close short stroke situation between these 2 teams. Detroit by 1. Stack with it against George Lynch, who's back out there. Jerry lost his footing because he was tripped. It'll be on Lynch. It'll be number 3 on George Lynch. So Stack goes back to the line. He's only taken 7 shots so far. But Eric Snow particularly has made it tough on him, not letting him get the ball where he wants.
I think for the most part, Jerry Stackhouse has been patient. He hasn't forced very much. He's made some nice passes after he gets penetration and gets cut off.
So Stack has 9. 73-70 is the Pistons lead. Coming up on the 4-minute mark to remain in the 3rd. Toss to Geiger. Help out Williams. Or Hill rather, and Jerome Williams got a piece of the rebound and scrape it away. Stack hops inside into a pass to Guerrero. Finished and he's fouled.
See what I mean? A moment ago, you talked about Jerry Stackhouse, only 7 shot attempts. Well, again, he got the basketball. You know he wants to score, but he's under control, doesn't pick up an offensive foul, drops it off brilliantly to Grant Hill, who's running down the middle lane, and the Pistons with a 3-point play. And you know, Fred, when you're playing like that, hey, it's fun. You're in control. You're still in ahead in the game. You're contributing towards a winning effort, even though you may not be having one of your great games.
The guy's about winning, and I think we've learned a lot more about Jerry Stackhouse as a person in the first 2 months of this season than we learned all of last year and a half. So Grant with 28, 76-70. Iverson couldn't lose Hunter again. What a job Lindsey's done tonight.
I was about to say, that is certainly worth noting.
McCullough gave it off to Hughes. On a switch, Leitner picked him up too late. So Larry Hughes with a dozen. 76-72, a good one at the First Union Center.
Iverson got his neck twisted and his arm injured on that Leitner screen.
He was holding his left elbow. Stack on a give and go with Hunter. Alertly got it out to Leitner. Over Hill, short. Rebound to Stack. A reset shot clock. Again, he didn't force it back up. Wisely brought it back out. Now called for it against Leitner in traffic. Puts it up and down, and he's fouled. Jerry Stackhouse looking for a 3-point play. And the Pistons lead by 6.
Again, you just talk about eye contact. The defender was there, but he didn't know where the ball was. So you got Leitner just throwing it up there saying, Jerry, go get it. And Jerry Stackhouse is able to make that play more times than not. I keep being reminded that that's the same play that Milwaukee used to use with Marcus Johnson. Even though a defender was there, they can't out-jump him for the basketball, so you just toss it up there and tell him to go get it.
So as Grant gets a breather, his team leads by 7. Michael Curry has replaced him. George Lynch a fall away. He was fouled by Jerome Williams. But I think we're starting to see some real chemistry developing with Leitner and Stackhouse and Hill. And obviously last year Christian was out so much of the time. Don't you sense it too?
Well, it takes time. But what you've got are 3 players that are willing to share the ball. And when on one night one doesn't get maybe its normal quota of shots, it doesn't really matter as long as you're winning. And that's the one thing the Pistons are trying to get to.
That's exactly what I mean. It just seems like there's balance there now finally. Lynch gets the backhand. 79-73 Detroit. And even 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. It's tough to put distance between yourself and a team on the road as good as Philly, but the Pistons are trying. Well, the 76ers hanging tough at home, trying to stay within arm's length of the Detroiters because of Aaron McKie.
Aaron McKie had 7 points off the bench for Philadelphia, got him going in the first half. 10 big points in the third quarter before foul trouble put him on the bench in the third quarter, shooting from everywhere. And of course, that one, the three-pointer off of Iverson's pass, he has been a big part of their effort in this game thus far.
A homecoming, of course, for McKie, who played collegiately at Temple, and then high school ball here in the Philly area. And he's got 17 of the Philadelphia bench points so far. Right by 6 with the ball. Curry trying to get offensive position against Hughes, who made a nice defensive play. Saved it for Iverson. Larry Hughes. And he scores again. Hughes quite an ad-libber. He's got 14.
He can get a shot for himself because you're always cognizant of his driving ability. You play off, he'll shoot the pull-up.
Back to a 4-point difference. He's fronting Curry. Back door. Michael left-handed it.
Leitner's so good at that pass. I mean, you saw it in our coach's corner. They diagrammed it where he's able to just stand out front, lob it over the top, just out of the reach of the defender.
81-75. That's McCullough with it. Not done much damage so far. Iverson tries a trade. Iverson's first triple tonight. So give him 18 points on 7 of 17 shooting. Stack, an open three. Raise the iron into the midst of Hughes. Iverson tries to tie. McCullough pushed. Loose ball foul, Philadelphia. And the Pistons are offering a home for the holidays. Buy one, get one free ticket offer for this Sunday's game against Charlotte. And Thursday's affair with the Atlanta Hawks. Order now online or by phone. Representatives standing by.
You know, a moment ago, you had Allen Iverson stomping up and down in front of us. I don't know, Fred, if it was because he felt he was fouled on the shot or if he was just angry at himself for missing it. But I guarantee you one thing, that man right there, Larry Brown, did not like that shot. Thought probably it was too early, it was forced, it was a three-pointer, and they didn't need it.
Jerome Williams gets the first of 2, his first point tonight. Now trying to bump the lead to 5. Pistons have led wire to wire so far.
Jerome Williams has been quieted a little bit tonight. Certainly not the same numbers he was putting up Saturday night, but again, when the Pistons are shooting a high percentage from the field, a lot of offensive rebounds aren't available.
Williams pulled down the Iverson miss. Lindsey Hunter to the hole. Give him 5, and the Piston lead is 6. Every time Philadelphia has made a run, the Pistons have answered. Hughes had to give it up. Snow. Eric drops it through. So Snow has 4, 84-80.
That's the best way to gain your respect. Teams want to play off of you, you knock the shot down.
Curry got it again. Michaels had the fine stroke tonight with a dozen.
Pistons are making sound decisions. They're locating the open man. There's not a lot of holding of the ball. There's great movement, and they are getting great distance out of that.
Larry Hughes, a left-handed. Cassie was behind Lynch. Iverson was fouled by Curry. The quickness of Iverson there netted that whistle. So Iverson will shoot a pair, where tonight it's been an adventure for him, 3 for 6. Loy Vaught returns to the lineup. 86-80 Pistons. Back home tomorrow night against Washington. Iverson shakes his head in disgust as if to say, I got to start making these. Grant Hill returns. And Jerome Williams goes back to the bench.
All right, one shot.
Lindsey Hunter clearly has forced him into the 7 for 19 shooting. He's just not allowed him to get the ball in a comfort area.
Hey, Iverson scored 25 on you. But if it takes him 25 shots to get it, you've done a good job defensively on him.
Vaught setting the screen out high for Stack. play against McCullough. 9 to shoot. 5. As Grant goes to work, there's a reach-in foul by Lynch that was not called. There was a lot of contact. That was ridiculous. He reached across the arm of Grant and got away with it. Now Philly might get 2 out of it, maybe even 3. Iverson, no. Rebound at the horn. Hughes, no. That will end 3/4 of play in Philadelphia. But Grant Hill says, how can that not have been a foul as Lynch raked me across the arm? So at any rate, the Pistons still with plenty of reasons to feel good despite the look of the head coach. Every head coach feels that way on the road. 86-82, Pistons by 4 into the 4th. Well, you've read just about everybody's list of the greatest athletes of the century. Now Keith Olbermann gives us his Christmas Day at 7 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Net. All right, watch George Lynch across the arms of Grant Hill there with contact. And no whistle. That would have been Lynch's 5th foul. Everybody on the Piston bench was up in arms, but who knows? Maybe the Pistons will get a call the next time. But so far, shooting very well and well enough to win on the road at 56%. But it's only a 4-point lead as they start the 4th. Lloyd Watt continues out there for the Pistons. Shot clock shows 7 ticks as Curry goes to work. Watt almost walked. He's got to make a decision. Too deep. Well, he's got to shoot the ball.
Certainly can't be reluctant to shoot it. Not sure Lloyd Watt knew the shot clock was winding down, even though Mike Avenard was screaming.
So the turnover gives it back to Philadelphia, the 12th for Detroit. Tyrone Hill, good deep position. He was doubled by Lindsey Hunter. Skip past to McKee. Ball movement to Eric Snow. Didn't get the hop. Rebound off the fingertips of Watt to Hill, who goes right back up and down. And the foul. There's a break for the Sixers.
And it came off the offensive glass. We talked about that being an area that the Pistons needed to be very careful of. Ty Hill in that paint area where he's done considerable damage. He gets the roll, the 3-point opportunity, and Philadelphia a chance to pull to within 1.
So Hill back at the stripe. He's 5 for 5 shooting from the line tonight. Looking for point number 20. But the Sixers in this thing because of their board work. Greg talked about it at the top of the show. Offensive rebounds, 11-3 Philly. And look at the second chance points as a result. 20. 86-85. Williams spinning into a shot. No, a pass. What? Trying to muscle it. No foul. Here come the Sixers looking to take the lead. Hughes missed it. Rebound to Jerome Williams. It would have been Philly's first lead. The Junkyard Dog scores.
Hey, Jerome almost saying, I set it up for Lloyd Watt a moment ago. We didn't cash in. I'm taking this myself. He did it from end to end.
88-85. Pistons by 3. Williams fronting Lynch in the post. Hughes will fire. Got it. It's a 3. We are tied. First time since it was 0-0.
You know, Larry Hughes quietly has been a thorn in the Pistons side in this game as well, off the bench.
And then the Pistons cough it up. And the home crowd getting into it. The Pistons call a timeout, and it comes early in the 4th quarter. Now they've got to rebuff Philly again.
This is when it gets really, really tough to win a road game. Philadelphia stayed close. They finally get even on the Larry Hughes 3, and this crowd is into it.
Crowd into it here in Philly. We are tied at 88, early 4th quarter. Let's check out tonight's mobile speed pass of the game. Christian Laettner to a wide-open cutting Michael Curry for our mobile speed pass of the game. Sixers looking to take the lead. McKee darts inside. He's triple teamed. Had to cough it up. Cutting is Lynch. Blocked by Jerome Williams, but a foul. Jerome's got to be careful. Doesn't pick up a tech. Fourth foul on JW.
And he can't believe it. I mean, he was right there at the summit with Lynch. Goes with the left hand. And that was a good block. That was a good block.
That's ridiculous.
That was a good block.
That's absurd. No body contact, all ball. That was blown.
That was a good block.
So maybe the Pistons will get that one back. You can't get them all, that's for sure. As Lynch tries once more.
That's a good point too, Fred. The officials, they don't catch everything. We thought it was a good block, but we couldn't confirm it until we saw the replay 2 or 3 times.
So Lynch does indeed give the Sixers their first lead of the ball game, 89-88.
Now, how will Detroit respond? Because they've not only got a surging Philadelphia team full of confidence, they've got a crowd that's big time into this game.
Grant Hill against McKee. They used to battle each other in practice at the Palace. Stack gave it up. Grant tries a trail. Rebound, Philadelphia.
See, Philadelphia, they feel like they're doing their job and they can force Grant Hill into a 3-point shot. Keep him from penetrating. They'll take that anytime.
McKee out high. He's got a bounce in his step tonight. Give it up to Snow. McKee will hoist. And hit. Aaron McKee.
You got
been unbelievable tonight.
Yeah, you got to close the gap on him because that jump shot is going. You got to make McKee put it on the floor and make a move to the basket.
Stack doesn't move himself and draws a whistle on the drive. Philadelphia foul on Tyrone Hill. That'll be his 3rd. But the Pistons have to try to take the crowd out of the game here a little bit.
Now, Fred, a moment ago, Eric Snow got a little bit of penetration. Grant Hill tries to close the gap on McKee, but he doesn't get right there. He doesn't close it enough. And when you got a guy that's stroking the jump shot like McKee is, and how about Iverson? He's into it, isn't he? Just a little bit, huh? When Iverson, excuse me, when McKee is knocking him down like that, you got to really push up on him.
Stack gets the first of 2. Jerry makes it a 91-90 ball game. They're back out there for the Sixers. Replacing Hill. Iverson into Grant Hill. Are they going to take it away? Yes, they are. Grant Hill was planted. It was a bit of a late call, and I was wondering if they're going to whistle Iverson. Larry Brown says, that should have been my way. Good call here, I think.
Keep a look. Grant Hill well outside of the dots. In there, planted. And he got the benefit of the whistle that time.
Good ball game in Philadelphia.
It is.
Under 9 minutes to play. Pistons looking to regain the edge. One-on-one, Hill and McKee. Here comes Geiger in the double. Swing at the Grant. 5 to shoot. Inside, deep Stack. Muscles it up. No, it squirted out. And he was almost trampled. 5-on-4 Philly for a moment. Geiger left open. For 2. Geiger has 4. Sixers by 3.
Sixers came down 5-on-4 that time because Jerry Stackhouse knocked to the floor. Late getting back defensively. There was a man open. Philadelphia found it.
Well, the Philadelphia crowd can boo you to death, and they can be your best buddy right now. They're on the plus side. Well, the Sixers have all momentum in their corner right now, leading by 3 at home. Here's our game summary brought to you by Pontiac. McKee and Hughes off the bench for 36 points, outscoring the Piston reserves by 15 by themselves, and Grant Hill in the second half, 3 for 8 shooting after the perfect start. And Iverson, Tyrone Hill, each with 20. Been balanced really on both sides of the ledger tonight. Iverson back out there for Larry Brown.
One of those games, Fred, that can be won by either team, but whenever you're the home team, you get a little bit of an edge there because of the crowd.
Well, Geiger doesn't think so. He just picked up his 5th foul out of frustration. Each team with 2 fouls in the quarter. More standing around in recent possessions. Grant missed the shot. Rebound to George Lynch.
Detroit Pistons right now getting no second opportunities. None.
McKee takes it at Mills. Baseline drive. It goes! Aaron McKee's playing out of his gourd right now. He's got 21. He shoots 43% from the floor, but you'd never know it tonight. 95-90. Grant was double. Pistons have to be careful here. Mills for a trade try. Rebound Sixers.
See, right now, Detroit is being forced into a perimeter game, and they're not knocking down shots, and they're not getting second opportunities.
Iverson bumps Hunter, scores anyway. It's a Philadelphia onslaught right now. They lead by 7 in the game in the balance for Detroit.
Look at Philadelphia really helping out.
Lindsay tries a track. Nope. Rebound. Again, one chance only.
Philadelphia has really stiffened defensively. Detroit's been unequal to match that intensity.
Sixers 6 of 8 shooting. The corner. Lindsay blocked it. No foul. Stacking a foot race with Snow. Takes it at him. Eric Snow with a foul. It'll be his 4th, and Stack will shoot a pair. Was Iverson fouled here, Greg?
Let's watch. On that particular play, he just made a tough shot. And now Stackhouse getting fouled, getting the ball dislodged by Eric Snow, but maybe Lindsey Hunter's block shot of Iverson can ignite Detroit. They needed something good to happen that would allow them an opportunity to cut off Philadelphia's surge.
Stack continues to stroke him at the line. Iverson politicking perhaps for the next whistle that might go his way.
I think it's a good idea right now getting Jerome Williams back out on the floor, because you need a presence inside on that window, on that glass, to get some second opportunities.
Sixers about rebounded the Pistons by 9 now. Stackhouse has 16 points. It's a 5-point gap. 6.5 left to play in Philadelphia. Iverson to Lynch in the paint. And he got the roll. George Lynch has 6. That's only his 2nd field goal. 99-92. Jerome Williams. Stripped by Iverson. Coast to coast. No foul off the fingertips of Hunter Hill. Sixers keep it. Both teams chomping.
Watch Iverson try to let the defense of Detroit. And he gets stripped of the basketball. Feels as though there was contact, may have been, but the point is, Fred, you can't always feel like if you go inside of 2 guys and there's some contact that the whistle is going to automatically blow, and that goes for both teams. Sometimes you get that, and sometimes the officials say, hey, make the play. You got in there, make the play. Unless there's blatant contact.
All right, let's check out who's hot. Brought to you by Mr. Allen's. Hot in terms of minutes. Allen Iverson leading the league in minutes played, and even 40 per night. And Grant Hill not very far behind. You want your stars on the floor. And 2 guys who have the ability to stay out there and don't pick up fouls. So far tonight, Grant has outscored him by 6. Certainly outshot him. But in the second half, Philadelphia's done a better job making it difficult for Grant. They've trapped him repeatedly. Larry Hughes on the dot. The pull-up. It goes in and out. It was halfway, 3/4 of the way down.
I thought it was in. Detroit now able to get a few stops in a row, and that's helped.
Leitner puts it up, and he is fouled. Good feed by Jerome Williams, so Christian goes back to the line. Maybe this is the way the Pistons can get back in the ball game, getting to the line, as now they'll be in the bonus the rest of the way.
Well, what they've got right now, pretty much the same players that have allowed them to have success the first 3 quarters, scoring, keeping the floor spread, moving the ball crisply, and forcing Philadelphia to have to cover a lot of ground in order to guard them. So, I mean, I think they've got a good group out on the floor. And, you know, with 5:41 to go, plenty of time here.
Pistons came into the game as the #1 shooting free throw team in the NBA. At 80%, and tonight they're even better than that at 83 as Leitner gets both. So 5 Pistons in double figures so far as Leitner joins them with 10. 99-94. Tyrone Hill. Banging hard. Blocked by Leitner. And he pulled it down. Great defensive play by Christian. Pistons hanging in here.
I was a little bit worried that Leitner was giving up ground too willingly, but he recovered well to block the shot.
Stackhouse tried to collect it. Leitner tries to get a jump ball, and that's what the Pistons have to settle for as Christian took a bop on top of the head.
They've got to win this jump ball. Detroit looking to pull the deficit to within 3, possibly 2, and not squander a possession.
6'11" against 6'5".
But the 6'5" guy can really, really elevate. That being Larry Hughes. No match.
Leitner won the tap to stack. 5:10 and ticking on that fourth quarter clock. Pistons down a handful. Leitner against Tyrone Hill. Had to fight into a pass, almost turned it over. Lindsay tries to save it. Jerome Williams got a piece of the rebound. Loose ball foul on Philadelphia. It goes against Tyrone Hill.
That's because you had 2 guys trying to battle Jerome Williams for the basketball. That's why Jerome Williams is in the game right now, to get the Pistons some second opportunities, some activity off that offensive glass when their shots go awry.
So Hill picks up his 5th foul. And again, keep in mind the Pistons in the bonus, so Jerome goes to the line to shoot 2. That's just his 4th point. But he's on the floor as usual in crunch time. Now trying to trim it to 3. And he got it. So the Pistons have outscored the Sixers at the line tonight, 26-15. Part and parcel as to why they're still in it, down 3. 2-man game, Iverson and Hill. He rolled to the corner wide open. Knocked away from behind. Jerome. And the Pistons come up with it. Grant to Stack. Jerry blows inside and he is fouled. Pistons go back to the line again. Looking to cut it to 1.
Again, very good defense. And that is what is allowing the Pistons right now to get back into this game. Philadelphia's movement has become stagnant or non-existent. There's the Pistons on the deflection and off to the races. You know, right now, Fred, I don't know what Allen Gentry is thinking, but if I'm the Pistons coach or the Pistons bench or team or whatever, I think I'd rather have Allen Iverson shooting the ball right now than than Larry Hughes or McKee. Exactly, thanks.
99-97, but McKee has 5 fouls. So does Hill, so does Geiger. It's a 2-point game. Tyrone Hill wanted it. No double team help coming yet. Hill muscles and misses. Gets his own miss though and scores.
And I know I'd rather have Iverson shooting it right now than Hill backing down, because he is a pillar of strength right now in the post and has been throughout the game for Philadelphia. He's hard to stop.
Sixers continue to win that battle in second chance points. 10 to shoot. Leitner draws a double. Reach in foul. Ty Hill. That was a foolish foul. His 6th he's done. The shot clock was ticking down. The Pistons will take it. And this is where the Detroiters can get you, because as we've mentioned, 3 starters, Leitner, Hill, Stackhouse, all 80% plus free throws. And this is what has gotten the Pistons right back into this thing.
Yeah, all free throws pretty much as they try to get back into this game. Fred, you know, another thing though to just consider, and that's that Grant Hill is not getting a lot of touches on the Pistons half court. Philadelphia is taking him away from the ball, taking him out of the game. And you got to feel like if Detroit's going to win, it's going to have to go through him. So they got to find a way to get him the ball so that he can be effective.
101-98. Philadelphia with the ball and a 3-point lead. Lynch against Jerome. Keeps him at bay. Lynch almost turned it over. Out of bounds to Detroit. So Jerome Williams ball hawking working. Pistons bring it up the floor. Coming up on 3.5 to play, down 3.
He's a major reason why Detroit has a chance still in this game while they're within reach. Jerome Williams.
Grant Hill had to give it up. Contact with McKee, who holds his face in pain. Lindsay tries it. Good! We are tied at 101. Hunter with 8 points. Bags a tray at the most opportune time.
They have persevered. Detroit has to climb back, just as Philadelphia did for most of this game.
Allen Iverson with it, fires. Gets it back. A triple from Iverson. Huge hoop for Philly.
That was a big shot.
104-101. That's money there. Leitner against Geiger. He doesn't want to pick up his 6th foul. Leitner pops. Got it! 104-103 with a ball game. Christian with 13. It's a 1-point ball game. But again, no Tyrone Hill on the floor to worry about on offensive boards. Iverson. You get a sense he wants to shoot it. He does. That's why. Another triple.
He has just been equal to the challenge. Because I don't know that either one of those shots were great shots that he's knocked down, but hey, he's given Philadelphia 6 points in their last 2 possessions.
He matches his season average with 28. Stack ran into a Geiger wall. It'll be a foul on Eric Snow. Number 5 on Eric. Larry Brown may have to suit up if this continues. 2:04 to play, but Iverson back-to-back trifectas. The Sixers lead by 4. Back-to-back games, Detroit has gone over the century mark against Philadelphia, and here Lindsay momentarily tied it.
You're going to see how Philadelphia is guarding Grant Hill. They're going to bring 3 defenders right there to cut him off. They do not want him to drive the ball to the hole. Now watch, there's Geiger, Iverson, there's McKee, and there's Lindsay wide open. And that's how you have to respond when teams try to take your main threat out of the game. Now here's Iverson, posturing. And then knocking down that big 3-pointer. 2 of them in a row, in fact, to help Philadelphia stay in control at this moment.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the 7 for 20. He's hit the clutch 3-Bs in a row, and then Jerry Stackhouse uncustomarily misses a second free throw in this quarter. That to fall home, so that cuts it back to 3. Plenty of time left here, 2 minutes. They're clearly looking for Iverson. Geiger off a fake pass. Rebound to Jerome Williams precariously.
Great effort by Lindsey Hunter to keep the ball out of Iverson's hands. As tough as it may be, when he's hot, when he's got that confidence going, you've got to try and play him without the ball and not allow him to get it.
Grant Hill being fronted by McKee. 10 to shoot. Jerome back to Lindsey. Stack has to make a decision. Finding Lindsey. Good ball fake. Pass deflected. Grant has to lean. Does. Oh, it came out somehow. Jerome, or Stackhouse rather, stayed with it. Put it down. Oh, man. Stack picks it 107-106.
Big time effort. And the Pistons took the shot clock down to maybe the half second before Grant Hill was able to launch from the baseline.
And in the steal. Pistons 3-on-1 to take the lead. Hunter to a trailing Jerome. 108-107 Pistons as Iverson was banged across the face with no foul call. The crowd is incensed that their superstar did not get a whistle. Iverson will be attended to. Looked like he got poked in the left eye. 107 left to play at Philadelphia. Pistons by 1. Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Pontiac Driving Excitement and your local Pontiac dealers. And by Sprite. Obey your thirst. Sprite. Grant Hill moment ago. Kept at bay, but eventually Jerry Stackhouse will get the board.
We want to show you some serious effort here. Now the ball is being passed around by Detroit. Shot clock winding down. Grant Hill gets a shot attempt off the baseline. Now look at Stackhouse as he just fights, muscles, and then hangs, maybe even gets fouled before getting it off the backboard, and the Pistons a put-back opportunity. Now Iverson, watch, you got to watch very closely. Watch the ball, look at Layton's hand, maybe. And it's very hard to tell by that replay, but maybe he gets hit across the face, but he goes down as if he were. Excellent. Ball movement, sharing, unselfishness, and Jerome Williams coming down as the trailer on the play, getting that Lindsey Hunter feed for the hoop that puts Detroit up by 1.
Iverson's okay, but if you're wondering why the officials might have missed that, it took us 4 replays during the timeout to find exactly where the contact came from. So imagine how it was to see it with the naked eye if you're one of the 3 officials.
Well, that's why I said earlier, they don't catch everything, and you really forget that. And as players and coaches, you totally forget it. These guys do a pretty good job.
Pistons defense forcing another Philadelphia timeout. 108-107, Detroit by 1. It's been a crazy game in that the Pistons have led most of the way, but if they can come out of here with a win, you almost feel like they won a game they shouldn't have won.
This is true. Take a look at the foul trouble, Fred, right now. You see Terry Mills and Jerome Williams both with 4. Geiger, McKee, Snow all with 5. That's critical. Tyrone Hill is already fouled out. Huge loss right there for Philadelphia. And that can become even more colossal if this game were to go into overtime.
So again, 107 to play in the ball game. And the Sixers with a basketball.
Now I want to point out, basketball is a game of adjustments. I said earlier, I don't want the ball in Iverson's hands. I'd rather not. I want it in his hands. I'd rather have him shooting as opposed to McKee or Hughes. I'm changing up because now Iverson's knocked down 2 free throws. Feels like he's got something to prove. He felt like he got fouled and it wasn't called. I think that I'd rather play him without the ball, keep it out of his hands.
108-107. Eric Snow brings it up the floor. Good Lindsey Hunter in the passing lane against Iverson. Stays with him.
So tough to keep him from getting it, though.
Pistons do have some fouls to give. Ball goes out of bounds. It still belongs to the Sixers, but only 5 seconds to shoot. Again, with that extra foul to give here, Detroit. Maybe you foul them before a shot if the Sixers get in for an easy one.
Lindsey Hunter doing the best he can. Again, Iverson with the 2 late threes, good for 6 Philadelphia points. I think earlier I said 6 threes, didn't I?
You said 2 free throws. I know what you meant there.
Oh, okay, 2 threes.
So they're reassuring themselves, the officials, that there's 5 seconds to shoot. Pistons making it tough on the inbound. Geiger, gotta hurry. No.
They did what they wanted to do. They kept the ball from Iverson, forced someone else to step up and hit a big crunch time shot. Geiger was unable.
Philly can get the ball back. Pistons need a hoop. 6-second shot clock. Stack. Now he's got to hurry. Leitner's got to shoot it. No. Passed it up. 24-second violation. Sixers get it back as the Pistons did not manage the shot clock down the stretch well enough. You just got to recognize that somebody's got to take a shot there.
Yeah. That's especially disappointing because you don't even get the opportunity. You forego the opportunity.
The game in the balance. 16,000 on their feet. Hunter deflected. Iverson throws it up. Lindsey who saved it. Pistons can burn clock and win. What a play by Lindsey.
They do not have to shoot.
And he is fouled with 5.1 to go.
He came up big. Lindsey Hunter, the last 4 or 5 possessions playing Iverson. Iverson got the 2 3-point baskets to go, and since that time has been cut off because Lindsey Hunter has played him very aggressively, not allowing him to get the basketball and do what he wants to do. Here, anticipates. Iverson tries to throw it off of him, unable to do so, and the Pistons may have just won themselves the game here.
You have no idea how tough it is, how quick hands you have to save a ball that's being bulleted off your body and to keep it in. Look at this play. That's just a phenomenal athletic play. And nobody has defended Iverson better than Lindsey has tonight. Both free throws go down. Keep in mind, though, the Sixers can still tie it with a 3-ball, but now that is really their only option.
And anything can happen. I think we almost felt the Pistons had the game in the bag the last time we was in this building, back last April. And what happened? Philadelphia gets a steal, ties the game, and I believe won it in overtime.
Remember, that was the game where Philadelphia intentionally fouled Jerry Stackhouse. They didn't call it. The Sixers brought it down. Iverson beat the buzzer, and then they wound up winning it in overtime. Yeah. Upcoming schedule for the Pistons, and this is what we had talked about. With all due respect to their opponents, winnable games. Washington's been struggling. Yes, Charlotte's tough, but you got them at the Palace. At Chicago, enough said. Atlanta at home. So this game could be a huge springboard for the Pistons. A tough one on the road if they can hang on here in the final 5.1.
Now, as Philadelphia plots their strategy, you know who their three-point threats are, and they need a three-pointer to tie this game. No other option. Iverson right there, option one, I'm sure. McKee, very viable option. Hughes, I'm sure he'll come in as another threat. What Detroit has to do, Fred, if they opt to let them shoot the three-pointer, is to get right up in their face, try to get that hand up, force a very tough shot, and do not foul. The worst you can do if you're Detroit is overtime. Philadelphia cannot beat you on this possession.
Well, Iverson by far their best three-point threat. He's number 6 in the NBA right now, coming into tonight's play at 45%. Then it drops off considerably to McKee, who's a 30, or I should say a 25% shooter outside the arc. Tonight, Iverson is 3 of 9 outside the 3-line. But he does have 28 points. However, because of Lindsey Hunter's persistent D, Iverson just 10 for 24 stroking it. It's really 3 or no count for the home club here. Alvin Gentry sending out Curry, Williams, Hunter, Stackhouse, and Hill.
Pistons have a foul to give, so they can really force, and they got to delay a game warning that they just used. If Fred a foul to give, they can force Philadelphia to use some valuable time here. As long as they don't foul him in the act of shooting.
Iverson, Lindsey fouled him wisely before the shot. Smart play by Lindsey.
Cost them about 2 seconds there.
Excellent play. Now they have to inbound. And of course, there's also a theory, again, you foul the guy before he takes the shot. Not many teams employ that so much anymore in this situation. 3.8 to go. Hughes popped out, not a three-point shooter. Fires. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! We are tied! 1-10. Give me a break. Larry Hughes, a 17% shooter, buried the shot of his career.
Okay. If you're Detroit, you got to feel like, all right, we've got 0.7 of a second left. That's time to get a catch and a shot and get out of here. But if that doesn't happen, you got 5 more minutes. It's a tough game. They go like this in the NBA sometimes. You still have to feel like you can win this game. Watch Hughes. Comes off wide open right there. Elevates. And at this point, just launches. He's in his mind, Fred, he's got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. And he shoots it with confidence, and it goes down. Now, I know there are people out there saying, hey, why didn't they foul him, put him on the free throw line? Conventional wisdom has prevailed in the NBA over the last 7 to 10 years that you do not foul. You make a guy make a shot. You do not foul and put a guy on the free throw line, give him a free throw, and then ask him to miss and maybe give up a rebound. You make him hit the shot, and if you can, then you go to overtime.
Well, Larry Hughes was 5 for 29 shooting 3 balls before that one, and he got nothing but the bottom. Hey, he made the shot. You got to give him credit. Now let's see what the Pistons can do with 0.7 of a second left.
And Detroit did everything they had to do. I mean, they put the worst of their three-point threats in a position, and he answered. Give him credit.
The Pistons are not successful here, you have to wonder how much of their confidence is shaken going to an extra 5 minutes. Because they have to have felt in the back of their mind they just about had this baby in the win column. Naturally, you're looking for a high toss here. They don't need a 80-foot pass from Leitner to Hill a la against Kentucky, but maybe it might be a table setter by Christian here. But look at Grant in the fourth quarter as Philadelphia has dogged him defensively.
I think they're going to have to get a catch and a shot. I really don't see Philadelphia allowing them a lob for a basket.
Leitner calls the timeout as the Pistons had one. My, oh my. These two teams have amazingly played some close ball games since the arrival of Iverson. And the trade of Stackhouse to Detroit, Theo Ratliff and McKee to Philadelphia kind of has the makings of a long-time rivalry here. So the Pistons still with 2 more timeouts at their disposal. But the problem is the clock with just less than a second to play.
First of all, you got Christian Leitner taking the basketball out. He's being harassed by Matt Geiger. So he's not going to get a really clean look. A lob is going to be very tough. I think it's going to take a catch and a quick shot.
Toss to Grant. They let him play. There was some contact there, as I'm sure Larry Brown's heart just skipped a beat. Now, do the Pistons have the mental toughness to bounce back from this shot to win this thing in overtime? It's a brand new ball game.
It's a valid question. Mentally tough. Will they have it?
They got to step up on the road in a raucous Philadelphia. Why do we have an extra 5 minutes coming? Because of an unlikely hero, Larry Hughes. Unlikely in the fact that he's not a three-point shooter, but this is a big-time stroke. So for the first time since opening night, the Pistons go to overtime. Philadelphia has won their 1 OT game. Hughes starts this extra session on the bench.
His numbers have been very, very good, as has Aaron McKee's, both off the bench for Philadelphia in this game.
Snow and Iverson in the backcourt. Lynch, Geiger, McKee up front. Iverson forces a shot, not a good one. Rebound, Leitner slapped it. Stackhouse ran it down, and it was grazed across the eyebrow by Iverson. He'll get no sympathy.
None. None. He's got the ball.
Toss to Grant. One-on-one. Here comes Geiger down. Short shot clock. Stack fires a tray. Got it! Nothing but strength.
That's an excellent start. Something to build on if you're Detroit. You got a 3-point lead with 1 possession into overtime.
Oh, it's huge. A 3-point lead. Iverson. Cut off. Threw it away. Leaking down the floor, Stackhouse. Grant with a sprinting Williams. Philadelphia dropped back quickly defensively. Under 4 to go in overtime. Hill, one-on-one with Lynch. Rises, scores. G. Hill with his first bucket since the 3rd quarter, but he's got 30 points.
Yeah, that's for a better start.
The first 5 go the Pistons' way in OT. Iverson keeping the dribble alive. 10 to shoot. Geiger passed up a shot. Williams hustled to get him. Geiger scored.
Hey. Big basket by Geiger. Thought about taking the baseline jumper. Got himself into a more comfortable spot with a couple of dribbles, elevated, and hit it.
115-112. Grant pulls up. No foul. He was banged on the arm. Apparently not. Sure looked like it.
Short shot clock.
Lindsay to Leitner. Christian fires. Too much iron. Rebound. Fought for. Out of bounds. To the Sixers.
Now Grant Hill has got to find a way to get himself open and to get opportunities. Here, he gets the double team. Patiently gives it up to Stack, who decides to launch from 3, and that's the first 3 points of this overtime period. But Grant Hill's got to get involved here.
Geiger against Leitner. Sixers down 3. Snow cuts it to 1. Eric has 6 points tonight. 115-114. They continue to match each other's mental fortitude here.
Detroit's made Geiger hit a shot. They've made Snow have to hit a shot. Both players were equal to the challenge.
10 to shoot. Grant fires. It's off. Rebound. Punched by Snow to Iverson. Now Philly looking to take the lead. Iverson coast to coast. Missed it. McKeno. Rebound Jerome. Running opportunity. Lindsay to Grant now. Back to Hunter for three. Rims out to Jerome. Back up. Block. Geiger. Count the bucket. Goaltend.
Jerome Williams. When the floor is so spread like it is and the ball is moving, it's impossible to block him out. And you've got Geiger standing right under the basket. You're never going to get that call.
117, 114. Geiger poked away by Leitner. Good hustle by Christian. Could not save it. But it puts 9 seconds on the shot clock. Timeout, Philadelphia. 1:45 to go, and the drama continues to unfold here, NBA style, at the First Union Center. Pistons by 3. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond, and John Keating have a tough act to follow. Red Wings and Sharks coming up at the top of the hour, but here the Pistons lead 117-114, under 2 minutes to go in overtime. The Stars' numbers so far: Grant Hill outscoring Allen Iverson by 2, but considerably better shooting the ball, because Grant has not had to battle Lindsey Hunter all night long. Again, keep in mind 9 seconds for the Sixers to shoot it up. McKee on a switch, picked up by Jerome Williams. Darts inside, no. Threw it to the elbow of Grant Hill. Pistons trying to run. Stack to Jerome.
Well, I'm telling you, the Pistons really do a sound job of running off turnovers and missed baskets like that.
It's a 5-point game. They scored the first 5 of overtime. They had that lead again.
Well, look at the effort Lindsey Hunter still applying here to keep the ball out of Iverson's hands. You're going to see McKee forced into a very tough shot. That's almost like a turnover. It ignites the Pistons' break, and Jerome Williams on the finish.
This is all that work in training camp paying off, Greg, where the commitment to running off turnovers was instilled.
Well, that was a shot attempt by McKee, but because it was so errant, the ball seemingly slipping off his fingertips, it was like a turnover. And you know what Detroit tries to do off a turnover.
Philadelphia inbounding the basketball with 17 seconds to shoot. Iverson knows he's got to be in a hurry-up mode. Hit the shot. Iverson with 30. You're never out of a ball game with that guy on the floor.
Yeah, and you really have to play him without the ball, just as Lindsey Hunter has done the last 5 or 6 times down the floor, because you see what he's able to do the moment he gets it. He'll find a way to score.
Pistons by 3, work some clock. Stack fires a tray. Rebound weak side to Lynch. Here comes Iverson. He's a 3-ball away from tying this thing. Goes inside, block. Leitner got it. No foul. They continue to moan in Philadelphia.
Let me tell you something. Christian Leitner, defensively, in the fourth quarter and in this overtime, has been sound. Iverson, with the right-handed dribble, goes inside, gets his shot swatted away. He gets swatted away, no call, and the Pistons have the possession.
They got all basketball, no body at all. Iverson, to his credit, tried to act his way into a whistle, taking the big tumble, but the Pistons haven't. Still work to be done, though, on the road. 119-116 Pistons. They have the basketball. That's the good news. And there's still 109 to play in Philadelphia. But Leitner's block a moment ago could be a heroic defensive play in this one. Alvin Gentry's gotten help from all over his roster tonight. In OT, the Pistons a little better than Philly. Now they'll definitely burn some clock. Minute to go. Stat travel.
Yep. got a little bit ahead of himself over in the corner.
That's a rare Stackhouse miscue tonight. He's played a sound basketball game. Seems like the Pistons should be up by more than 3 in overtime, doesn't it?
They've had their opportunities.
Grant with a near steal. I mean, they clearly outplayed him in the extra session with hustle plays at both ends, big buckets. But the Sixers are just down 3. And interesting that Larry Hughes is on the bench. Contact, Stackhouse and Snow. Alvin Gentry rises in disgust. A non-shooting foul.
They're going to call that a dead ball foul and put Philadelphia on the line and then give them the ball back. I think that's what they're going to do.
It looks like, oh, that's a tough call. Iverson missed it, though. Maybe justice prevails as far as the Pistons are concerned. Crow still remains 3. Both teams now in the bonus at the free throw line the rest of the way. Snow rises. Got it! Eric Snow with a clutch jumper. He's got 8.
He's earning his respect here because the Pistons have continued to allow him to shoot the 15 to 17-foot jumper, and he's starting to knock them down. Incidentally, the Pistons catch a break. You've got Aaron McKee on the floor. He shoots 83% from the free throw line. They put Iverson up there for that free throw.
Good call, Greg. Grant lost it. Oh, no! Iverson foot race. Got it! Sixers take the lead. Can you believe it? And Iverson will hot dog it all over the lot. Grant Hill with an unforced turnover. And suddenly the 5-point lead is gonzo with 16.3 to go. Now you got to forget about the mistake and get a good shot.
Let's go back and take a look. You're going to see Eric Snow right there, unguarded. A lot of attention on Iverson. He has had that shot the entire night, and he is hurting the Pistons now because he's knocking it down. Didn't you see Grant Hill slip? He loses the basketball, and Iverson able to finish on the other end, putting Philadelphia up with 1. But with 16.3 seconds to go, plenty of time for Detroit to come back with a solid effort, a solid play on the offensive end.
With 1:21 to go in this overtime session, the Pistons led by 5. The Sixers have scored the last 6 points. But more importantly, plenty of time for the Pistons to get the winning shot.
And Fred, they need to take it, I think, need to take it early because you want to give yourselves an opportunity for an offensive rebound. You also want to give yourselves an opportunity to commit a foul if you don't get a rebound and put Philadelphia on the line, because then you'll only be down by 3 if they make both. So you want to give yourself more than one chance here going down the stretch, even though it's in overtime and you've expended a lot of energy.
You would think the Pistons will try to attack the rim if they can and get to the line at worst. But this game has been awash with emotions. And right now, Philadelphia feeling like it's their game to win. Terry Mills comes back on the floor for obvious reasons. All the Pistons need is a deuce. Leitner joins Mills along with Hill, Stackhouse, and Hunter. Jerry Stackhouse hit a huge bucket in Milwaukee in a recent crunch time situation. Will he be the guy to take the shot? They trap Grant. Ball game on the line, one-on-one, Hill and Lynch. Darts inside, readjust, no!
He got a
foul. Will put Grant at the line with 8.4 to go. That's what we talked about.
And I think that eliminates Geiger.
His 6th foul. And Grant, an 80+% shooter, to try to put his team in the lead.
Watch the way he goes in and protects the basketball. Gives Geiger body first. and then attempts the shot. There was no way Grant Hill was giving the basketball up. He was going to convert or get fouled.
All the summertime work of shooting baskets, time after time after time, for this moment with a game on the line, and Grant, who has missed these opportunities in the past, a chance for a one-point lead. Got them both. Nothing but net.
Philadelphia going with no timeout.
The game on the line again. Sixers needed 2 this time. Snow with a ball fake. Almost walked. Eric Snow with the horn. Sixers win. The guy who couldn't shoot as a sophomore at Michigan State, a 20% shooter at the free throw line. But Judd Heathcote once told him, you're going to be an NBA player. There's room in the league for guys like you. Last year, he made himself a shooter, and tonight, he is a Philadelphia hero.
Brett, the game started out with the Pistons saying, okay, Eric Snow, you beat us. And here on this play, Eric Snow was the man left wide open. Pump fake, he wanted to pass it off. But with the shot clock winding, or the game clock winding down, he got himself set and then reset. And this was good from the moment it left his hands.
You can't fault Grant Hill. He couldn't leave McKee. Stackhouse tried to hustle to get there. And Eric Snow undoubtedly hits the biggest shot, perhaps, of his life. That's not overstating it, because he rarely gets the opportunity to win a ball game, but he knocked it down.
Well, you know, I remember him winning a game in college. In fact, he beat Iowa at the buzzer.
I remember,
because they gave him the shot. Eric Snow has made himself a good basketball player, and I think, again, he earned his respect tonight. He made the Pistons pay for leaving him open.
Pistons